Why don't we have a weird little quarantine adventure today? There are some certain viral TikTok hacks for makeup that have been circulating the internet. A lot of the stuff on TikTok feels very clickbaity, or a lot of it is for clout. While I sort of understand that you kind of have to be a little bit clickbaity nowadays in order to really like bring in the new views.
I have to be honest guys, I literally can't believe this has happened to me. #emotional.
I do feel like a lot of the stuff on TikTok is literally just there for attention seeking. You kind of have to wade through things to find the gold, if you know what I mean. So today I thought I would try out 3 individual viral hacks from TikTok in order to see if they really do help with your makeup in any way, shape or form. So I am mostly fresh faced. I have a little bit of illuminator across my cheekbones, and also I've done my eyebrows because I didn't want to look like an actual alien baby egg. So let's hop over to TikTok and see what we can find. Immediately I can see that the most viral foundation hack is by a girl called Yarida.
Moisturize first. Then after moisturizing, take some translucent powder. I usually use the Fit Me one, and I just lightly dab it all over my face. Not too much. Then take some setting spray. It could be any setting spray. I usually use the NYX one. After the setting spray, take a primer and just put your primer. Also, wait for the setting spray to dry first. Then just put on your foundation and just see what happens and how amazing your makeup is gonna look. And it's gonna stay on 24/7, and it's not gonna crease. It's a technique that's probably still used by so many other people. I heard that it's been used for like a long time, but I just found out about it, and honestly, look. I don't have the beauty filter.
I mean, her skin does look
Try
brilliant.
it on you and let me know if
All right, let's try this out. I need a new mirror on my makeup desk. This mirror is far too old and small now. I really want one of those ones. Did anyone watch Nikki Tutorial's recent like beauty room tour? The mirror she had in front of her was like what I've been wanting for years, and I didn't know what it was called. And I've just recently realized that they sold it in IKEA. So when we are out of quarantine, guess who's going to IKEA? So the moisturizer I'm going to be using is the Simple Light Hydrating Moisturizer. I love this moisturizer. I know a lot of people can't really use the Simple products, but I absolutely love this moisturizer. So she said to apply the moisturizer all over your skin as you normally would, and then go in with a little bit of translucent setting powder in order to, I guess, kind of like set your moisturizer. I know there's an old technique of wearing powder before foundation that's meant to help with oil release from the skin. It's meant to like absorb it and let it not interact with your foundation as much. All right, I'm just going to apply a little tiny bit with my MAC brush. It feels very wrong to be setting moisturizer. To me, the whole point of a moisturizer is to moisturize the skin. And when you apply powder, it's to mattify the skin and like make sure that moisture doesn't disturb it. What does my skin feel like? I mean, it feels okay. So the only setting spray I have at the moment is the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set, and I really don't like this, so like, don't even bother with it. And now I have to wait for this to dry. Why don't I make sure my earrings are correct? How is it? Is it dry? No, not yet. My favorite primer is the Skin Base Visage by MAC. So I'm just going to dab this into the areas that I need it, which is mostly across the T-zone, because that's where I am an oily person. Although I do love a matte finish. A satin finish looks so much better for like 30-year-old skin, shall we say. Now she says to just go in with your foundation as normal, so let's try that. The foundation that I'm going to be using today is the Maybelline, what's it called? The Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Full Coverage Foundation in the shade True Ivory. Let's buff it into my skin and see what I look like at the very end. So I'm going to go back into my eyebrows at the very end and fix them up, because what I would usually do is apply them into wet foundation, but I wanted to try this hack out first. Oh, what I should have done is done a half and half situation, shouldn't I? In fact, that makes so much sense. What I'm actually going to do is take off half of my skin from doing this technique, and we're going to try it half and half. A little bit of moisturizer and back in with a little bit of primer. I'm just going to finish applying to this side of my face because I had already started, and that makes a lot of sense to do it like that. So that is the foundation over all of my face. What I'm going to do is just go into my little areas that I need to go into and fix the tiny little areas that I need to fix. So things like around the nose and underneath just to make sure everything is blended in with my foundation. Bearing in mind this foundation is not exactly the correct tone for me. It's a lot more of a neutralizing neutral tone, a little bit less pink than I would like. This foundation seems to be pretty good, so it's good for like an everyday. I don't need to use my expensive foundation whilst in quarantine in case I can't get any more. So let's have a little look at my skin. The side with the hack does look a lot more textured. It just does. I feel like you can see it a lot more on this side in this area than you can on this side in this area. Around my smile lines down here, it definitely looks a lot more drier, and you can sort of see that it's kind of like sinking into my pores a little bit here where the primer was. Whereas on this side, it's not really doing that. It's not really happening on that side. So far, I'm not really liking this hack. So what I'm going to do is finish off the rest of my face and come back and do an eyeshadow hack with you. So with my contour, blush, highlight, and a little bit of bronzer on, this is how my skin looks. Let's get right into the nitty gritty, shall we? I'll try and get as close as possible without completely blurring myself. I think I can see a difference on the skin sides. So this side definitely looks drier. It feels drier, and it almost feels like when I smile, this side is tighter than this side. I don't know. I don't really know if this skin hack is really necessary anymore. I think a good oil control primer is probably the best option for you when it comes to wanting to make your foundation last that little bit longer, but make sure you get a good quality one, and I don't think you can find that really in the drugstore. As you can sort of see in this area here, around my nose, it is just drier. It just looks drier, whereas on this side, it doesn't look quite as dry. I still have texture on my face. Everyone does, you know, skin has a texture, but I don't feel like this bit looks anywhere near as dry as on this side. Okay, so this next hack is by this little cutie called Amy Chang of the TikTok channel Bondenavant. Bondenavant. And they are suggesting that you can use a mascara as an eyeliner. Not entirely sure how I feel about that, but let's try it, shall we? So let's watch what she has to say. Oh, copyrighted music. It's a darker black and it lasts longer. Do I believe this? Use mascara as eyeliner. Does she show us doing it? Oh, she doesn't. I see. That's a pencil eyeliner though. Like, why would you use a pencil eyeliner to do a wing liner with? Unless you were going for a faded look? Ooh, okay. Well, let's try it out. I have a couple of mascaras actually on the go at the moment, but I think the one that I'm going to use today is the MAC in Extreme Dimension in Waterproof. What I'm actually going to do first is put a base colour down because my eyelids need a little bit of colour to them. They just do. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back to show you if this actually works. So I'm going to take an angle brush for this because I feel like it kind of has to be used with an angle brush, right? I'm going to use the MAC 266S, little tiny angled brush. I don't have like huge hope for this. I'm going to put a little bit of mascara on top of my lash case, maybe? Let's do that. Yeah, why not? Let's ruin an eyelash case. I'm literally just going to go like this into the mascara. I mean, it does seem to be keeping the brush quite thin, which is what I guess we need. It's going to be kind of like a DIY, I don't even know if this is going to work or not. Let me tilt you down. So I'm just going to wing it out from the edge. Apply a little bit more and push some across the actual lash line itself. I mean, so far I'm not having like the best experience with this. I don't feel like this is really groundbreaking at all. If anything, I feel like I could get a better result from a gel liner. Like, if you look, this is quite great. I mean, yeah, it's got a sharp, nice line. I mean, it's in the right place. It's probably going to be good enough to last all day because this is an all-day mascara. Whereas a gel liner would be able to really create that fine line because I feel like gel liners have a little bit more grip to them. Mascara is more like a soft, black, liquid kind of thing that dries matte on your lashes. I don't feel like I can really construct like a sharp line. It doesn't feel weird on my eye. If anything, it feels a little bit too like moisturizing. I feel like for a gel liner, you need it to kind of dry down matte because you don't want a sticky liner. I'm not sure I like this hack at all. So I've just completed this eye and also put on mascara. put on the same mascara, in fact, onto my eyelashes, and you can see that my lashes are actually black, whereas the mascara, when it's applied with this technique to the skin, I feel like because mascaras need to be that little bit more nourishing on the eyelashes, a little bit more careful, they've got a little bit of oil in them, I just feel like it's not great to use as an eyeliner. You can see that you can't really get like a sharp line with it, and that is because the mascara, when it's in the brush, doesn't seem to be able to create that sort of stiffness that you need from a brush, and I feel like I used a lot more mascara than I ever would have done if I'd have used a gel liner. Alright, so let's try the last hack. We'll try and see if we can find a nice hack for the lips in some way. Let's do that. So this last one is by Lilani2, and she says how to instantly make your lips fuller. And I know that I could do with that. So let's have a listen, shall we? Okay, what is she doing? Go over your Cupid's bow with your lipstick, clean up with a foundation brush, put gloss on the inner lip only, and, right, what? Okay, yes. Oh, go over your Cupid's bow. Oh, right, I was just about to say, this is how I would normally do a lip anyway. So, interestingly enough, this is actually what I do on a regular basis, because I have actually had lip fillers previously, and they have practically completely faded now. So, I'm going to talk you through how to do this hack. So, I'm going to take MAC Velvet Teddy. This is just a nude pinky brown lipstick. You want to make sure that your lips are nice and hydrated first, and I'm going to zoom you in. So, what you want to do is literally go between your Cupid's bow with your lipstick and then just go straight across. And when you take the outer edge of your lip, you kind of want to slim it down towards the end, so that the center of your lip looks most pouty. And then fill in your bottom lip. And I'm just going to tidy this up with a little bit of lip liner. And there you have it. That little technique of really lifting up the lips makes you look a lot more pouty. So guys, there we have it. 3 individual TikTok makeup viral hacks tested. And I hated every single one of them. Apart from the lip one. I do the lip one, actually, quite often. I definitely do not like this side of my face. I feel like it looks a lot more textured. The eyeliner is not a life-changing hack at all. Overlining the center of your lips will always make your lips look bigger. I'm always a fan of saying that makeup has no rules, but makeup definitely has some guidelines that you kind of need to follow in order to make things look as flattering as possible. Okay guys, if you want to see more from me, please hit the subscribe button if you aren't already. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.